I would love to understand how Arabs think. You and me both, mama. Us two. We're all in this together.
I don't even know how I think sometimes.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
We're back.
We're back.
Hoo-wee! Loush, Ibby. And you. We have received questions before. A lot of people reach out to us, and we are incredibly happy to be able to provide, some insight and, help people with their, I guess, cultural dilemmas, if you will. A really great one that actually came to me, which actually comes from a female. The last one we did came from a male. She's actually Hispanic. She's Mexican American, and she's dating a Syrian. Now, we're gonna run through the question. I have the DMs, and just for privacy purposes, we're gonna block the name. Let's run through the question and see what her issue is, because she has an Arabian prince that she just can't quite figure out. And us Arabian princes can be quite a handful.
Yes, we can.
Can be very, very dramatic. Guys, we're strong on the outside.
But on the inside, let me tell you.
We're jello. Like, we're so soft. So trying to navigate your way through an Arab man's mentality can sometimes be a challenge. But if you can figure out the puzzle, it's like game over. It's the best, So I'm Hispanic, Mexican American, and my boyfriend is Syrian. He just moved to the States 1 year ago. Great. So we're not dealing with
culture shock.
Well, there might be some, but at least he's landed and it's not overseas long distance.
Yeah.
At least physically.
I think after 7 months, you're kind of like way past that point.
Sure. So we've been dating for 7 months. So he was only single for a few months before we met. Okay, that's a small question. Did he have enough time to truly acclimate, to truly integrate? Did he jump too quickly into something new while still trying to discover himself in this new environment? That's a small flag for me. I've met his family, but as a friend and not as his girlfriend. Ooh, this is such a typical classic situation.
Yeah.
The dating scene in the Arab culture is not that popular. It's not strong. Whether you're Muslim or you're Christian, this is not a religious issue. I think this is more of a cultural issue. Girls as friends, I think, as far as my dad told me, he's like, you can have friends as much as you want, but when it comes down to the real business, the real situation, whatever, we don't really go off the course.
Yeah. When you got introduced as a friend, I'm pretty sure the parents have the slightest idea.
Yeah.
That you guys are probably seeing each other.
Right. But one thing in our culture that the parents do is things go unsaid.
Oh, yeah.
They can be known, but they go unsaid. And so you are now living in the unsaid realm, which I know is incredibly uncomfortable. It's probably why she came to us to begin with. Let's move on. We get along so well. We don't fight. Great.
Beautiful.
We're both Christian. Great. So there's no friction there. We already expressed our love to each other. Great.
There you go.
Very good. He works so much. Good. He's employed. But love that we both have jobs and can still find a lot of time to spend time with each other. Hey, let's
Beautiful.
go. Okay, check.
Yeah.
The only flag for me so far is just how quickly he jumped into a relationship upon arriving.
Him?
Yeah. He was 3 months.
I don't see why there would be an issue.
Because if you're arriving somewhere new and you're building a new life, he's a Syrian arriving in the States, about to build his new life. He needs to figure himself out first. Maybe he did so. I'm not sure. But for me, 3 months in a new country and already expressing my love to somebody only after 90 or 100 days of being here, how solid is the foundation that he's building this life on?
I see what you're saying.
That's my only thing.
I see what you're saying.
That's just for me personally. So here's the problem. I would love to meet his family as his girlfriend, but I'm way older than him, and I have a son from a previous relationship.
Okay.
Now, she's saying that on the basis that those are the reasons why she's still in the friend zone. and not his
okay.
girlfriend. I don't think those are the reasons why you're still the girlfriend. They are contributing factors, but we need to figure out if it's cultural and if it's traditional reasons before anything else. Because if you were Syrian or if you were Arab, older than him with a child, you know, maybe it would work more in your favor than you just not being from, you know, the same background.
Yeah.
He's met my family. He loves my son, and I'm so afraid that his family will deny me and advise him not to be with me. I would never ask him to disrespect his family. I would love to understand how Arabs think, what the community would think about us or him or just me if they found out we are dating.
Okay.
And what are the odds of his family not accepting the relationship? And would the community judge his parents because of their son? I would hate for that to happen.
She's asking all the right questions.
Yeah.
Like she's hitting them all in the right spot.
Absolutely. And the fact that like you're even addressing all of this is such a huge benefit to him.
Yeah.
Like you're fantastic. Let me just start off by saying that. Like he really, really has somebody great that's with him. And you know, the rumor's been going around that, you know, Arab men are for Latinas. I see it online on TikTok and whatnot, you know, and the cultures are just so similar. It's fantastic. Now, I would love to understand how Arabs think. You and me both, mama. Us too. We're all in this together.
I don't even know how I think sometimes.
Yeah. What would the community think about us? Let's go step by step.
Yeah.
Okay. What would the community think? This should be the least of your worries. Do not worry about that for now. It should be the least of his worries. But something tells me that he's not worried about that if he's willing to pursue something with you and meet your son and introduce you to his family and kind of run through all the motions. Don't worry about the community, because I promise, first it starts with him, and then it's like layers. You got to go 1 degree at a time. The community is the very last thing that you guys should worry about. And you know what? Even still, I promise you, even among Arabs, we had an episode on tribes, on Arab tribes. Even among the tribes, you can be a purebred and you can still be frowned upon. So please, don't stress the community.
Yeah, not a big issue.
What are the odds of his family not accepting the relationship?
Well, that kind of depends on the parents themselves, how strict they are, what they're looking for, and the person that's seeing their son. Mm-hmm. Like, do you fit the criteria? Mm-hmm. Like, there's so many questions that have to be asked.
That's correct.
To get a proper answer.
And that would be a great question to ask him, actually. But if we go with what we know, what are the odds? You've met them, he's introduced you as a friend. Do they think that you're just a friend, or like you mentioned, to be subconsciously they know, like deep down they know that you're more than just a friend, but they're waiting for him to man up and to go ahead and introduce you as something different?
Yep.
We're not entirely sure.
But the fact that they still haven't said anything yet, they're either waiting for him to say something, they respect his opinions and all that stuff and the way he's going like about with his life. So
yeah,
it's kind of up to him to open up to his parents and let them know.
That's right. And growing up in the culture, my parents were more of the sort, which I think is generally speaking too, do what you want, but don't approach us with nonsense. Include us when it's time for us to get serious about things. So you need to figure out, is he just chilling, doing his thing? In Arabic we say, Aish Shababak. Is he just living his youth right now? Don't be a byproduct of him living his youth, particularly because you seem so amazing and you have another life in this story. You have a son, you have a child. You got to protect him at all costs.
Yeah. And you also gotta actually, I would recommend letting him know, if you really want his parents to know that you guys are seeing each other, you gotta approach him and tell him.
Yeah.
But you can't be aggressive about it either, right? Like, you gotta just plant the seed.
Yeah.
And just watch it grow.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta water it.
Yeah. Like, it's very sensitive.
And would the community judge his parents because of their son? Maybe. We're not sure, but again, it's a non-issue.
Yeah.
His parents in the community is what's really freaking me the F out. So I get that. I love the fact that you guys seem great and it's like exterior factors. Oh, I forgot to say, I'm 28 and he's 22. Okay. A little bit of an age difference there.
I don't think that's a big issue. You're both adults at this point.
22, bro.
Yeah.
22.
6 years.
Whoa. Where was I at 22?
I don't know, man, but
I mean, listen.
honestly, let me tell you something. It comes to a point where like some people mature differently than others.
Yeah.
He could be 22, but have the mindset of like a 25 or 26-year-old. Who knows?
Even more. Like,
you know what I mean? That's just
a Syrian. It's all circumstantial, right?
Yeah.
Like a Syrian arriving in America, trying to build a life, like that is hella mature. It's not a matter of number, it's a matter of life experience. I'm not gonna hold the age thing against you too much. The only thing I would say is at 28, you gotta figure your stuff out, because I know you wanna build a life and I know you wanna create something beautiful for your son, and maybe even have more family with somebody that you love and that you want to be with also. It's not over for you, obviously, because you're with somebody.
Yeah.
So do you, mama, all right? 28, you take care of yourself. At 22, you got to make sure that, you know, think of like a stallion, like a young 22-year-old Mustang horse. Like he's running the fields, all right? You got to like tame him. You got to bring him in and be like, listen, either way, I don't care what the answer is. I need to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I went ahead and I said, have you spoken to him about it? What does he say? So he never gave me a direct answer. That's a flag.
Okay.
You need one.
So they have talked about it.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, he just says they'll love you. Not good enough. That's not good enough. He just doesn't know when the right time is to introduce me as his girlfriend. Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
You want to go at his pace, but if you guys are going to be together, your pace needs to match. You can't be like waiting and have it hanging over your head, because then it's going to start affecting the relationship, which you're saying is so amazing.
Yeah.
And they're not fighting.
Yeah.
Right? So I've chilled in his living room like 3 times just to drink mate and watch soccer. So nothing crazy. I brought my son to swim at his house.
Okay.
Right. Okay. And the mom has met him.
Nice.
So she knows I have a son, but still, I believe they only think I'm a friend. I don't think so. No. They don't believe that.
You gotta try to read the parents.
Yeah.
Like that's probably gonna be your next mission.
Yeah. His 18-year-old sister 100% believes we are just friends. 18-year-old sister, I don't think so. Even though she sees me a lot more than his parents see me, I don't know why she's 100% in denial of that relationship. Okay, so I think you figured it out on your own just by using the word denial. She knows, but it's beyond her. She's the 18-year-old sister. There's nothing she could do.
Zero zip.
There's greater sort of emotions at work here beyond her. So don't look to her for very much. But of course, befriend her. The mom, she's met you. She sees you as a grown woman, as a woman of experience and obviously beauty and kindness and everything.
Like your foot's already in the door.
Yeah,
like you're going somewhere with it. For sure.
That's an asset to her son from the mother's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta work to make sure that outweighs whatever disadvantage you think you may have coming into this. I know eventually he will introduce me as a girlfriend. Maybe when we officially have been dating for a year. I don't know about the time. I wouldn't put a time. But I want to be able to convince them that I am a good person and I will always respect them. Love that.
Perfect.
Love that. And I think you will. I think you will. The fact that you've come to us and you're like observing all these things. This is such a mature 28-year-old. Like you see the difference, right?
Yeah.
And I will always respect him. And that I'm sorry. And that I'm sorry his son is dating an older woman with a child. Do not apologize for that. Don't
ever.
That is not a negative, and don't make it seem as such. Nobody should ever hold that over your head, and that's not something that you should ever make up for in some way. You're not coming into this as a disadvantage. Like you come in with your own worth, right? Know yourself and be willing to walk away from the relationship. I think that's like the most important thing, because if you're gonna make him a part of your life too, it's not just you that's joining his life. You've already established certain things in your life that you need him to be on board with. Let us know what you think in the comment section. Help our girl out, our Latina Amira, right? Our Latina princess who needs some help from the gang.
Yeah. Sensitive topic.
Yeah, we're very delicate sometimes. You know, sometimes we're delicate.
My neck is gone again.
But sometimes zihou.